How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. There's something that's really been bothering me. I couldn't figure something out. Something that was happening in the background with Bitcoin and whales buying. There's something going on, and I just couldn't piece it together. And then today it hit me. This is something that I haven't seen other people talk about, and it's something that is happening in the background that has huge implications for Bitcoin. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video to see future videos just like this one right when I make them. I'm going to try to keep this video short as I can because there's a lot to cover and to explain, but I am heading out the door for something really important here in a second, so we'll keep it moving. There's a link down there to Margex in case you want to trade cryptocurrency on leverage. You can see huge move up here. There are going to be a lot of huge moves in the future, and if you want to play with leverage, if you want to test your or build your TA skills, you can check out the link underneath the video. There's also a sign up bonus of 20% that can be used towards fees. So definitely check out the link underneath the video. It does help out the channel as well. There's also a link to HGAaccess. They called out Operation Phoenix. We called out Operation Phoenix in there. And this thing went from like 100K all the way up to a $8 million market cap, almost 9 million, retested this previous resistance and then bounced right off of it. So this is looking really interesting, even from just a TA perspective. So definitely check out that link underneath the video if you're interested. In my video earlier today, I talked about the Bitcoin ETF inflows. This was the second or third, depending on where you're looking or who's reporting, the second or third largest inflow day into the Bitcoin ETFs yesterday. This is causing Bitcoin's price to spike up, as I said, from 43,000, I think that was just yesterday, maybe the day before, all the way up to 47,500 here today. Now, something that was bothering me, we know that people are putting money into the ETFs, and we know why they're doing that. We're getting closer to the halving. Halving progress is 95%. We know there's going to be looser monetary policy. We know that the traditional markets are doing well. I mean, just Nvidia is now worth as much as the entire Chinese stock market. But what bothered me was we saw a couple stocks make huge moves, and it didn't make sense to me. What am I saying here? Well, MicroStrategy yesterday had a huge move. And let's see, from the market open or from the close the night before, it moved up 14%. Now, it makes sense it would move up. Bitcoin was up yesterday, but Bitcoin moved up, 2 or 3% yesterday, maybe 5% max. But MicroStrategy is moving up 14%. And CleanSpark, they had earnings recently. They announced some big things, but in the last 5 days, they're up 55%. Just yesterday, they were up huge, and then today, they're up another 22%. Now, of course, it could be due to other factors. For example, CleanSpark announced earnings, right? They had good earnings. MicroStrategy had earnings earlier this week, and typically these trade and are like leverage positions, especially the miners, on Bitcoin. But what was so weird to me is, yeah, we saw Bitcoin move up, but these are massive moves. I mean, 50% in a week. I was just thinking, who's buying this? Because when the ETFs got approved, a lot of money actually flowed out of these kinds of entities, these stocks, and into Bitcoin or the Bitcoin ETFs. A lot of people thought, okay, I only own these companies because I couldn't buy Bitcoin directly. Now I can buy Bitcoin directly. So I'm selling these that are higher risk and I'm putting it in Bitcoin. But now we're moving up. And again, I realize that they're not going to move perfectly in tandem. These are going to probably move up more. But the amount, the size of these moves just floored me. Like I said, Bitcoin's up 9% last week compared to 50% and 25%. So I figured out what's happening here, what I think is happening. We've actually had a lot of entities say that they're not approving the Bitcoin ETFs. Either they don't want people to trade the Bitcoin ETFs at all, like Vanguard, or they need to go through the due diligence process. They need to figure out what they can allow, whether they should push these ETFs, or maybe they just say, hey, you can't sell these ETFs unless the people ask you. I've covered that in a couple of videos. A lot of big institutions are telling their financial advisors, you can't sell these things yet. But I think a lot of people are seeing the prices start to run away, and they're seeing large entities like BlackRock and Fidelity getting 70,000 Bitcoin in AUM in less than a month. And they're saying, damn, I really need in on this. I need my investors to be on this. I need my fund to be in on Bitcoin. The price is starting to spike up 10% in the last 7 days. We're seeing shorts get liquidated. They're just sitting there. These advisors are sitting there saying, I don't have access to this. I can't buy the Bitcoin ETFs. What can I do? And they look and, oh, well, MicroStrategy, that's been around for years. Our department or our safety department, whatever, has already approved this. It's a $10 billion company. I can go buy that. Or CleanSpark, well, that's approved. It's a Bitcoin mining play. It's not necessarily holding on to Bitcoin. It's like infrastructure for cryptocurrencies, for the new digital assets. So I can buy that. They have cash flows. They have revenue. They have growth. I can go buy that. And that's what a lot of people that are on the sidelines that are forced to not buy because of security or because of compliance, that's what I think they're doing. They're buying these entities. They're buying, maybe even, let's look at CoinStock. Let's see if this fits CoinStock. So CoinStock up 4% today, 7% for the week. So it's moving up, not quite as much as Bitcoin, but there are probably still a lot of entities buying Coinbase. There are a lot of entities buying all the other miners. I saw a lot of other miners up significantly. So this passes their compliance. Now, how does this help Bitcoin? Well, obviously, it just allows companies like this to continue to buy, right? Like the larger market cap MicroStrategy is, the easier they can get debt, the cheaper they can get debt, the more that they can issue shares, and all that money goes to buying Bitcoin. CleanSpark can go buy more miners, which allows them to buy more Bitcoin, which allows them to strengthen the network. The other side is too, these entities that are buying up CleanSpark like mad, that are buying up MicroStrategy, they want in on Bitcoin, but some of them just can't buy yet. Now, when they get approved to buy Bitcoin, they're going to turn around and they're going to buy the Bitcoin ETFs. And that's going to pump up the price of Bitcoin. So this is their solution short term, but long term, they still want in on Bitcoin. So I think this is really interesting. I haven't seen anyone talk about this and talk about, I've said this in the past. I've done videos like this. This was before the ETFs were approved, where I showed like, hey, yeah, Bitcoin's up 50% this year or 100% at that point, but the miners are up like 400%. There's something bigger going on. And a lot of that energy, a lot of that pent up buying pressure went to buy Bitcoin ETFs recently, but a lot of it's still there. We can see it. I want to bring these types of videos to you when we have this kind of mismatch in terms of returns and explain what is actually happening behind the scenes. Now, let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video. Again, you can check out Margex. You can check out the Patreon. I actually just gave early access and explained why I'm buying a crypto. I'm buying a lot of it right now. I'll be publishing that video probably over the weekend, but I give early access to the Patreon members. If you want to see videos like that, get videos every single day that I don't even put up here on YouTube, every single day of the work week. You can check out the link to Patreon underneath the video. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.